Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Startup in Residence 2016 Demo Day. Please welcome to the stage Miguel Gamino, Chief Information Officer, Executive Director of the San Francisco Department of Technology, and Jeremy Engelberg, Director of Startup in Residence at the San Francisco Mayor's Office of Civic Innovation.
Good morning. What a beautiful crowd. Welcome to the 2016 Startup in Residence Demo Day. On behalf of Mayor Ed Lee, Mayor Schaaf, Mayor Cutter, and Mayor Cabaldon, it's an absolute pleasure to open up today's program. Today, we're showcasing one of the world's most unique civic innovation partnerships between government and startups. Over the past 16 weeks, startups and city partners tackled critical civic challenges on a voluntary basis. Through their work, they've established, and further emphasized that cities are the center for change. As a city, we know that the solutions to the challenges we face in resilience, education, human services, and public safety require us to work with the entrepreneurs and innovators inside and outside of City Hall. What does this mean? It means leveraging the great creative work that already happens in government, work filled with a passion and commitment to public service that our government employees bring. This means collaborating and partnering with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, communities, and residents in developing the next generation of products and services that will lead to a smarter, more equitable, and responsive city. Because when you look around and you see the pace of transformation happening in nearly every industry, startups are leading the way. Yet, government is one of the few remaining areas that has yet to realize the potential impact offered by modern software development, like user-centered design, agile development, and cloud computing. We believe STIR is a vehicle to assist in this transformation. In 2014, we were the first city to embed startups in government to build new products. 6 of the most promising startups to collaborate with government agencies across 16 weeks to build new products and services. This year, enabled by a Commerce Department I-6 grant, we expanded the program to welcome new cities, 14 startups across 13 departments in San Francisco, Oakland, San Leandro, and West Sacramento. During the 16-week program, city staff and startups received training. For startups, this means how to work with government, how to tackle procurement barriers, who do you talk to, and what is open data. This information doesn't exist today for startups, so developing and sharing our curriculum can help entrepreneurs considering opportunities in the public sector. And there's so much more to come for Startup in Residence. Needless to say, this is a team effort. Thanks to Mayor Ed Lee, Mayor Cabaldon, Cutter, and Schaaf, the SF Moki team led by Jay Nath, our city's Chief Innovation Officer, Krista Kanalakis, Deep Prasad, the SF Moki summer interns and current team of innovation fellows, our partners at Civic Makers, our strategic partners, NASDAQ, Impact Hub, Runway, Wearable IoT World, our ambassadors and mentors, many of you who are here today, the startups, SF Gov TV, departments and city leadership from across our partner cities, especially Marissa Rea, Deb Acosta, and John Robinson. Kathleen Clark and Lauren Jones from the SF Department of Technology, and SF's Chief Information Officer and STIR partner, and my friend, Miguel Gamino.
Thanks. You know, it would be easy enough to just say I echo everything Jeremy said, because it's true. But what I can add to that, I think, is that leading the Department of Technologists, it's amazing how many opportunities we see that sometimes we don't have the capacity to respond to. And so the concept of having startups come into government and help us address those issues is really meaningful and impactful. 16 weeks has flown by, and I can't wait to see the results that have happened. But along the way, we also took advantage of an opportunity to make this a little more sustainable by embedding some of the learnings. And so I was really excited when I talked to Jeremy and Jay and Krista about this idea to make sure that we learned from each other during this process, that they didn't just come in and help us solve some problems, but that they left a mark on our own staff so that that work could continue. And I think we would also leave something of an indelible mark on them in terms of the good work that's happening in San Francisco by technologists who happen to be focused on civic problems. So I'm really excited to have been supportive of, or had the opportunity to support the program, and we're committed to continuing to support that going forward. Mayor Ed Lee couldn't be here today, he's traveling, but true to form, he has sent us his message in digital form. So we'll see Ed Lee.
I'm San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee. Greetings to everyone attending the 2016 Startup in Residence Demo Day. I wish I could be there in person with you today, but I'm in DC working collaboratively with mayors to create better policies for our cities, just like the Startup in Residence program does. I launched the Startup in Residence program in 2014 to promote the collaboration of startups and local governments to create a better quality of life for our residents. And this year, I'm proud that it's expanded to become a regional program, including Oakland, San Leandro, and West Sacramento. I want to thank my colleagues, Mayor Schaaf, Mayor Cutter, and Mayor Cabaldon for their partnership on this important and impactful program. I've heard about the projects this year, and wow, I'm very proud. Today, you will see a website that helps San Francisco's foster care children connect to parents, an app that simplifies enrollment into Oakland's Head Start program, a tool that helps San Leandro analyze city budget and performance data, and an app that allows West Sacramento Fire Department responders to report emergencies from the field. Congratulations to you all, and best of luck today, and I look forward to working with you all in the future.
Please welcome to the stage Manju Bansal, Vice President and Global Program Head, SAP Startup Focus.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Manju, and I'm with SAP Startup Focus. Before I start, a quick show of hands. How many of you in the audience are startups themselves? Oh, wow. And how many would associate and say we are part of the larger startup ecosystem? That's fantastic. So I run a program called SAP Startup Focus, and it's really very simple. Our mission is to look for a few good startups. Because we're SAP, we focus on the enterprise space, so startups in the big data, real-time predictive analytics, machine learning, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, that sort of a space. And I say a few good startups, but we started 4 years ago, and today we have 4,000 startups who are officially affiliated with us, with our program, and a big chunk of them are actively involved in coding and developing applications on our technology stack. Our mission is to say, let's find a subset of those, and there tend to be a few hundred of them, and we take them to market to our biggest and best SAP's customers. SAP, as you probably know, is amongst the world's largest enterprise applications company, and we have 320,000 of the world's largest and the most influential companies, including city governments and federal governments and state entities, as our customers. So if you're a startup, you know how challenging it can be to make a sale in the enterprise environment to either a company or a government entity. I like to say it's like climbing Mount Everest. Unless you have a good Sherpa team on your side, it's unlikely you'll make the summit. And I'm proud to say that Startup Focus, my team, is that Sherpa team that helps startups succeed. Today we are joined, there's a few of my colleagues in the audience. Guys, if you can just raise your hands or stand up and be identified. I know it's kind of hard to see, but when we step outside, please do take a moment to introduce yourself, meet our team members. Our purpose in life essentially is to find the startups and enable them to succeed in the marketplace. Thank you so much for your time, and have a fantastic day.
Please welcome to the stage Mayor Christopher Cabaldon of STIR Partner City, West Sacramento.
Good morning. For us, STIR has been kind of like coming to San Francisco and ingesting a probiotic, where we're a healthy organism, but we've brought another microbial into our gut In order to improve our own health, we work together, we're symbiotes, to try to create something new, to make a better organism for our city and for our community. At the beginning of the civic technologist movement, so much of our focus was on how do we get more citizens involved in the budget process, or in our meetings, or look at our agendas, and those are all valuable things. There are very few mayors, though, in America that weren't reelected because they didn't have enough citizen involvement in the budget process. There are mayors who have not been reelected and city governments that have fallen because of a failure to deliver on essential services in ways that are efficient, effective, equitable for our citizens. That's why the work that we've been engaged in with our startups in West Sacramento over the last 16 weeks has been so powerful and so important. It's invisible to our citizens because it needs to be. Their focus is on the tip of the iceberg that's over the water, but most of what we do is in providing direct services. We invited our startups into West Sacramento because we wanted to improve our service, but more importantly, we wanted to change the way we deliver government. We wanted to infect our city and our staff and our city hall and our police and fire departments with a different way of thinking about problem solving, problem identification, and agile iterative design of problems. We wanted to think about different ways to identify and assess what citizens really needed and how to best serve them that weren't just best practices from a League of Cities magazine, but that also weren't just opinions by people in a public meeting, but to really get at user needs and use cases in real powerful ways that would change the way that we deliver and improve the responsiveness of government. And that's exactly what we've achieved in our work with the startups that you will hear from later today. In improving and making service better for homeless individuals in our community, for folks who need fire and emergency services, and for the police officers who need better ability to coordinate their information. But just as profoundly, we've changed the culture inside of City Hall by blurring the line between government and startups and bringing our cultures together to understand how to better tackle problems. So thank you so much to the startups that have participated, and I particularly want to thank San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee for his national leadership and vision in this work, and for his willingness, his excitement, and his enthusiasm to spread the word beyond Chicago and Boston and Washington, D.C., but to small cities where a majority of Americans live, work, and play, to bring entrepreneurialism, to bring innovation, and to bring technology to our ability to solve problems at scale. So thank you to the startups. We look forward to our continuing partnerships. We look forward to purchasing several of the products that we have been working on and our colleagues have as well. But thank you to the startups. Thank you to SF Moki for all of your work in order to make this partnership a reality. We're doing a better job for citizens, and we're changing and transforming the power and the responsiveness and the equity of government. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Mayor Pauline Cutter of STIR Partner City, San Leandro.
Always the adjustment. Hello, and I wanted to thank you for inviting me, and also thank you for letting me share my excitement and my city's excitement for being part of this program. Sometimes when you're a smaller city, you don't get the opportunity to share in some of the big things that are happening. And with that, I have the saying that we're only as strong as our partners, and for Mayor Lee to invite people and share this opportunity with us, it's really appreciated. First, a little bit about my city, San Leandro. We're in this position because we were lucky enough to have a public-private partnership with an individual who pulled some fiber through our grounds. So we had the conduit, he had the fiber, and we made a partnership. So we have 18 miles now of 10 gigabit per second in a loop around our city. So that enables us to actually do some of these apps and gather data that we need to make these apps work. STIR's goal of building bridges between startups to bring innovation to the public sector is really, it fits well with what my city's goals are. We're looking for ways to make sure that our infrastructure in place, but we're serving our community. So for example, Lauderdata's mobile app created for our rec and Parks Division, it allows us to look at the data behind people's signups and see where we're serving people and where we're not, and what people that we could do more for and how we can get them to sign up, and that's what we're going to use that for. And then STIR also empowers our city government to gain more confidence and to take risks. And one of the things we're doing with the technology is the city's attracting different investors and also different startups to our city. The software, big data, clean energy, and Internet of Things startups. And they're laying the groundwork in a place called the Gate. And to sustain this diverse commercial base, our city staff worked with a group to make a platform of to create a platform to connect our hardware entrepreneurs to the highly advanced Bay Area factories looking to connect to our business. We have a big warehouse district that we're reserved to make sure that we can turn it into a factory district. And reducing costs, our IT department is working with a group to make sure that they can look at how to spread their services fairly over all the departments so one doesn't get dinged for most of the costs. And then in addition, we're looking at things that will explore just the fabric of our city to make our city better. So as mayor of San Leandro, I really thank you for having me here and look forward to next year. And I actually really look forward to that app next year that will help this mayor learn how to be more tech savvy. So there you go. That's the challenge.
Please welcome to the stage Mylene Garcia, Online Engagement Manager of STIR Partner City, Oakland.
Hi, good morning. I'm honored to be here to represent the Mayor Libby Schaaf, the City of Oakland, and the City Administrator's Office. But it's kind of odd that I'm here. I'm a pretty reluctant bureaucrat, I have to admit. I hate forms more than the next person. So the prospect of a startup in residence program that would ease that burden for residents and for my colleagues and for people like myself was exciting. When I meet with friends and family, they often joke about the pace of government, its complexity, and its lethargy. But I tell them that things are changing in government, they're changing in Oakland, and they're changing in the region. The pulse of government and innovation is quickening. And this is evident by my colleagues, inspired bureaucrats and technologists who have taken this renewed interest in public service. Colleagues like Marissa Raya, who's taken a lead on leading the STIR program in the city of Oakland. Ever Mendoza, who's been working with Preschool to Me to change the enrollment process for our Head Start programs. And Bruce Stoffmacher, from our police department, who's been working with Bay's Impact to make information about policing more readily available. Oakland is becoming a municipal testing ground. STIR has served to deepen Oakland's commitment to lean approaches and iterative development. We're building out a lab on the 9th floor of City Hall to incubate projects like these in the Startup in Residence program. It's a core part of the resiliency and engagement work with colleagues like Kieran Jan and Karen Boyd back at the city. It also incubates some of our efforts with Code for America to transform our digital services and redo our city website. But what do we need to do to make these things actually work and function? I need a cohort of colleagues. We need a cohort of colleagues across cities, across bridges. We actually need to drive across them and visit each other. The city of Oakland joins San Francisco, West Sacramento, and San Leandro in creating a network of leaders that are passionate about improving the quality of life for the public in a greater region. But most importantly, the thing to remember is that while technology can teach us that innovation can be short and quick, our public servants can show us that change may require us to have a steady heart. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Ready to cue my mic? Please extend a warm welcome to our Demo Day MC, Monique Woodard, venture partner at 500 Startups.
Are we ready to get this Demo Day party started? Yes. Okay. I'm Monique Woodard. I'm a venture partner at 500 Startups, which means that I'm an investor and I invest in startups just like these on a regular basis, hopefully every day. But before I was an investor at 500 Startups, I was an innovation fellow for the City of San Francisco's Mayor's Office of Civic Innovation. And I was lucky enough to see this program come to life, and now I'm lucky enough to be on stage seeing the next evolution today. As you see these startups come on stage, they'll each have 4 minutes between the startup founder and the civic leader. And please tweet what you think. Tell us on Twitter using hashtag STIR2016, STIR2016. I'll be here to kind of guide you through the day. When I thought about what kind of host I would I be an Ellen DeGeneres? Would I bring you all pizza and hang out in the audience? Probably not, it's a little early for pizza. Would I be a Ricky Gervais? Nah, not really, it's a bad idea. Or would I be a Steve Harvey? Let's hope not. But we're gonna have some fun today. Use hashtag STAR2016, and I'm going to introduce our very first startup. So first up is Bays Impact with Kirtan Upadhyaya, Director of Partnerships for Bays Impact, and Bruce Stoffmacher, Legislation Manager for the Oakland Police Department. And they're going to come to the stage in 4 minutes. Clock's ticking, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. My name is Kirtan Upadhyaya. I'm the Director of Partnerships for Bays Impact. We're a 501c3 nonprofit that provides data science services and builds data products to address pressing social challenges. Our work in government spans the city, state, and federal level.
Hi, and I'm Bruce Stoffmacher. I'm with the Oakland Police Department Research and Planning Unit. Okay. So OPD, we have a lot of asks, constant asks for information from journalists, community activists, neighborhood groups, and equally, we have a lot of great information, use of force data, crime data, a lot of different initiatives, community policing efforts, but all of our information right now, they're in reports and PDFs, and they're just all over the place. They're not organized, and so our information just pretty much is not getting out there. In parallel, we're a partner with the White House's Police Data Initiative, which is all about supporting constitutional policing and pushing out of important and police data to promote transparency. So we really need to figure out how can we cultivate and organize the data that we have that's just not in one place. And so with that problem, we began working with Bays Impact.
Now, our investigation and research started with talking to the actual users of OPD data. We brought together leaders across the community, policing, and policy, and put them in a room together with leading designers from top Silicon Valley companies. We asked folks what they wanted to use and how they would use it, and where the shortfalls were of the current platform. And with that, we developed the first iterations and mock-ups of what would initially become the data dashboard. And here you can see some of those mock-ups. Now, we immediately began to see a bigger picture here. It wasn't just about open data, charts, and tables. It was also about an interactive and engaging way to communicate the stories behind the data that was being represented. Now, the next step of our tour through Oakland Police Department was on the technical feasibility side. We needed to understand where this data sat and how we'd be able to extract it. Bruce and I brought together our teams to understand just that. Through our work, we realized and created an implementation plan to extract data in real time and incorporate community engagement, leveraging some of the resources Bays Impact has on the software engineering and on the data science side. Now, our solution became clear, and this is what we at Oakland and Bays Impact created, the Citizen Engagement Platform, a portal for individuals to access data as well as engage with the rest of the community. And some of the important features represented here are data stories. Now, we wanted an engaging way for Oakland Police Department to fairly represent the information and the story behind the numbers. And so data stories represent a way for Oakland to post memos, press releases, information, or new initiatives that would give context behind the data that's being represented. Other key features included downloadable data in a form that's available for researchers and analysts to bulk download. We featured things like charts and tables and map views for casual community members, and of course, the data stories. Lastly is the engagement portion. We had community members be able to ask questions, have them reviewed and responded to, and posted for the broader Oakland community. Now I'm going to pass it off to Bruce for what this means for Oakland Police Department.
Okay, so we believe that we have really great data that shows our commitment to procedural justice. And we hope that with this type of platform, we can better engage people and enhance our level of trust and engagement with Oaklanders. For us, a lot of the work has really been about looking at our use of force data, our crime data, community policing initiatives. And right now, it's all stored in different databases, and this information was not designed to easily intersect with one another. And so we're still trying to figure out how can we extract all of our data and create a cohesive platform. So Kirtan will discuss the next phase of our work.
Currently, we're co-developing and publishing a report on how to work with police departments and cataloging our process with Oakland from the design sprints, the technical reviews, and actionable next steps on developing the portal. Next, Bays Impact hopes to leverage its data science and software engineering expertise to build the community engagement portal. We want to thank everyone for being here, especially a big thank you to Bruce and the entire OPD staff, to Mayor Schaaf, and a huge thank you to the STIR team, Lawrence and Judy, without which their hard work, none of this would be possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Okay, next up. Who in here has preschool students in school right now? Or has had preschool students in school? Okay. I feel like I should bring you either coffee or a glass of wine. Dealer's choice. Next up, it's Preschool to Me with Kapil Rajukar and Ever Mendoza. Please come to the stage.
Hello and welcome. My name is Kapil Rajurkar. I'm the founder of Preschool to Me. Before I get into the presentation, let me say a big thank you to the City of Oakland for giving a startup like us this opportunity. And also a big thank you to STIR program for making all of this very successful. To introduce, I have Everardo Mendoza with me. He was a key player from the City of Oakland Head Start team to make this project a success. Myself, I'm the founder and CEO of Preschool to Me, and we are based in Austin, Texas. Before I get into the STIR engagement, let me just give you a little bit of background. If you have a child in preschool, probably you're getting a paper report at the end of the day from your preschool that tells you how much your child pooped, how much he ate, how much he slept. But that's about it. And what do you do with that piece of paper? I know, I throw it in the back of my car and never make it home with it. But also, if you thought being a parent of a preschooler is difficult, try running a preschool. Preschools has so many regulations and paperwork that they need to comply with. That's where Preschool to Me comes in. So when we looked at the City of Oakland challenge statement, we found a lot of similarities what Preschool to Me was already trying to solve and what issues the City of Oakland Head Start program was facing. So we found it to be a perfect match, and thankfully they did too. So that's when we got together and we started this STIR engagement. Through this engagement, we made sure that we meet with the City of Oakland representatives, whether it's offline or whether it's in person. And we also made sure that we define clear milestones and we adhere to those milestones, and we keep making progress. Next, I want to hand over to Everardo, who's going to talk about the lessons we learned through this engagement.
Hello, everyone. This is Everardo Mendoza. I'm the Senior Data Entry Operator for the City of Oakland Head Start program. And some of the lessons we learned from this third program is that we needed to engage users as early as possible in order for them to adapt to the program changes in the way we process data. Another lesson we learned is that the only way to improve the software is by engaging in it, hand use. We needed users to be constantly using it in order to get better feedback for Preschool to Me. More difficult than anticipated was the fact that we didn't get as much as FaceTime with participants. We wish we would have received more feedback from participants, and because of the locations of the centers and also the location of Preschool to Me in Texas, we were not able to accomplish that as much as we would like. Lastly, one important key was the fact that we needed to continuously make progress in the development of the software. And the only way to accomplish that is by constantly giving feedback to preschool to me so that they can make the adjustments as possible. And Kapil was very helpful and very flexible with us by giving us constant updates to the software in order to meet our needs.
Thanks. So I want to quickly run you through a few screens that we have created through this engagement. So one of the key parts of Preschool to Me is parental engagement. So what you see here is parents can receive a variety of information from Preschool to Me software. Teachers can use a tablet in their classroom to capture all these memories and share with parents electronically. And parents can download a free app on the App Store or also receive it via email. One of the things we also delivered was a paperless attendance system to comply with the state regulations, to capture attendance for last 7 years, which can be pulled up electronically through the Preschool to Me software. And finally, Preschool to Me is now live at 350 plus centers around the country, including some prominent brands, as you can see here. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Like many things that involve government, becoming a foster parent takes a lot of work and is a lot of paperwork. This next startup, Binti, is here to kind of streamline that process and make it a lot easier for the foster care system to work and for them to focus on social work rather than paperwork. So next up is Felicia Kukura and Barrett Johnson. Felicia is the CEO of Binti, and Barrett is the program director at San Francisco Human Services Agency. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Felicia, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Binti.
And I am Barrett Johnson, program director at the Human Services Agency, Family and Children's and Services Division.
And I also want to call out Sophia Isom, who's in the crowd here, who is a program director at HSA as well and has been really involved in the project.
And our project addresses two related problems that we have. One is, you may not know this, but we have a critical shortage of foster families that we call resource families in San Francisco. We're sending 40% of our kids out of county. We're sending 25% of our kids way out of county, out of the Bay Area. And imagine what that's like for foster kids that lose their family, at least temporarily, and also lose their community. The other related problem we had was that our approval process, which has changed recently, and is better, but it's more complicated. And this is not user-friendly for, often these are relatives who are taking in their foster kids, and it's really complicated and not user-friendly for them. And it also is really complicated for our staff. There's over 70 steps to this. We were struggling using a lot of primitive technology to track all our data and track approval process, and this was costing us a lot of money. So I was doing what we typically do in government, which is try harder and complain to my friends and family about it. And I happened to have a friend who worked at Google, and she did what technology people do. She promptly emailed up the chain at Google and said, what can we do about this? And they connected us to Stir, and Stir connected us to Binti.
And so over the last 4 months, our team at Binti has been shadowing HSA and understanding their challenges and pain points, and we've come up with a solution together. And the solution entails 3 things. The first is we've built a public-facing website. You can actually go to it. It's at sfcaresforkids.org. And it's a place where people can learn about becoming a foster parent, get their questions answered, reach out to the team, and they can actually get started with the process. The second thing we've done is we've built TurboTax for becoming a foster parent. So you can go online, you can complete an online application, e-sign everything, and see exactly what are the steps that you need to do. And the third thing we've done is we've built software for Barry's team to be able to manage their workflow so they can see where are applicants in the process, what do I need to follow up with, and actually do their casework. San Francisco estimates that our software is going to save their team between 20 and 40% of social workers' time. Altogether, the tool will do 4 things. It will recruit more families. It'll help families get through the process more quickly. It'll help Barry's team do more social work and less paperwork. And it'll have better outcomes for children and families.
And there's also a sort of big picture benefit. that it has. We've been trying really hard to shift the culture of our agency to be more performance-oriented and data-driven. And we're not just doing that because we want to do it because it sounds good. We're doing that because there's some research that shows that you can improve outcomes for kids and families that way. And there's a couple of barriers that were related to getting that done. One was our staff's perception that we were technologically backward. The second was the fact that we actually were technologically backward. And the Binti project has really helped with that. It's really inspired our staff to have a modern product that looks like a modern web product that helps them do their work. So we're really excited about that.
And we're really grateful to STIR as well because Binti's been around a couple years. We work in the private adoption sector. This is our first time working with government, and to be honest, I think we were a little nervous about making that transition. We thought procurement would be challenging and intimidating, and STIR was a great way for us to work with our first government partner. We actually like working with government now. And,
we like you too.
And Barry and his team have introduced us to some other counties in California who've already decided to go ahead with Binti as well. So it's been a really good thing for us.
And because I have you here, I have to pitch our website to you. Please go to sfcaresforkids.org and consider becoming a resource family or volunteering with foster kids.
And if you know other counties that have challenges with foster care, please have them reach out to me. My email is above. Thank you so much.
I hope you're super impressed with these startups so far. I also hope you're pretty impressed with my ability to say everyone's name correctly, or semi-correctly. Next up is a startup called Community Logic, with Mark Masongsong, CEO and founder of Community Logic, and Susan Ma, Industrial Business Development Manager at OEWD.
It's definitely bright. Good morning. My name is Susan Ma, and I'm with the Office of Economic and Workforce Development. We support the economic vitality of the city by strengthening its neighborhood corridors, businesses, as well as its workforce. I specifically work with production and distribution and repair businesses, also known as PDR. These are the businesses that brew the beer you drink, build the furniture that you sit on, deliver the produce you eat, and fix the vehicles and so on. So this sector is extremely important to San Francisco, not only because it provides economic diversity to the city, but because of the jobs it creates. So 67% of people without four-year degrees work in PDR jobs. And when you compare that to retail, you can see that that's a huge difference. And most of you might think that, the sector has been declining, and it has in the past, but we're actually seeing a resurgence in San Francisco. In the last 5 years, we've seen great growth, and with that growth has come an increase in demand on space. And our mayor, recognizing this demand, created his 5-point PDR plan to help preserve and create new PDR space in the city. I use a lot of different tools to help inform the work that I do, and I really wanted a tool that could pretty much do it all, right? Because I work in government, that's what I want. But I wanted a tool that could help better inform and more efficiently track the needs of these businesses. And I'm really excited because with the support of our department, we reached out to STIR program and found Community Logic. And I'm really excited for them to show you what they've come up with.
Hi, everyone. Community Logic is a cloud-based geoanalytics platform for cities. When we met with Susan, this was the reality we found that she deals with. She has to use different systems and piece together in her head an understanding, a global view of the state of the local economy. When we visited other cities, we found out this is in fact a universal problem. Using paper-based maps, how do you update this, right? How do you share information with coworkers in the field? It's the 21st century, and you need a 21st century solution. So what we've built is a single platform that automatically draws data from multiple data sets and provides a unified view of the state of the local economy. The reason why this starts to become extremely powerful is it gives you a lot of granular understanding of specific segments of the economy. So for example, we can track where there is an unusual number of business closures in specific neighborhoods. This basically acts as an early warning indicator for government officials to intervene and protect the health of local neighborhoods. We also are able to break this down by specific industry segments. So when you hear, for example, that GDP grew by 3%, on the surface, that sounds good, but that may actually mask the fact that specific subsectors of the economy are struggling. This kind of granular data allows city planners to target particular industries and with targeted actions to strengthen the diversity and resilience of the economy. This is just the beginning. We believe in what's called the compound value of data. As you overlay different data sets, you can draw out greater value add. So for example, one of the things we found out is that traffic data is extremely powerful when it comes to local economies. You can tell local business owners when their customers are going to be in their neighborhoods on different days of the week at different hours of the day. So some of what we've built on our platform, for example, are traffic analysis tools. One of the things that we're starting to do now is layer different data sets on top of that. So things like demographic data. Just yesterday, our CTO showed us that we're starting to now be able to do social media sentiment analysis, these sorts of things. All of this is possible once you aggregate data on a single data set. So our company was born in stir, like literally. We got selected for this. Our team has always believed that government can be a force for good, and we're hell-bent on being a part of that process. But it's really difficult to get governments to pay attention to give you a chance. STIR gave us that opportunity. And in just 6 months, we actually now have 3 cities on our platform. We recently were awarded a grant from the National Research Council of Canada, we're Canadian, based on the ability of our analytics to reduce climate emissions through targeted actions in local economies. All this is possible because the STIR program gave us a chance. You guys have changed our lives, and we hope to return the favor for your citizens. Thank you so much.
When most people hear about government procurement, they do not think it's a sexy business. It's not picking up your laundry, and it's not delivering your groceries or finding you a date, but to government, it's incredibly important. And this next startup, Car Farm, worked with the Office of Contract Administration to simplify the vehicle procurement process. I'm going to bring to the stage Rob Henning from the Office of Contract Administration and Tae Yoon, founder and CEO of Car Farm. Welcome to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tae, and I'm the CEO and founder from Car Farm.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rob Henning. I'm one of Mayor Lee's senior fellows, and I've spent the last year embedded within the Office of Contract Administration. Before we dive into our presentation, I'd just like to take a quick moment to thank some key individuals who were instrumental in supporting this particular project, namely the city purchaser, Jackie Fong, the head of the city's fleet purchasing team, Whitney Bagby, the head of the Central SOPs team, Tom Fung, and finally Jay Nat and his team of civic innovators. Just provide you with some context, the city and county of San Francisco has a fleet of over 6,000 vehicles, and that encompasses everything from fire trucks and ambulances through to street sweepers and police vans. Now, buying vehicles for this city is a form of mental torture for the people who are involved in the process. And that's because a lot of purchases require incredibly technical, complex specifications to be prepared, and also because the workflow from RFP through to purchase order can involve a lot of back and forth between departments. So the goal of our Startup in Residence project was to leverage technology to significantly improve information flow between the Office of Contract Administration, the Central SOPs team, and those user departments wanting to purchase vehicles. We decided to start small by just focusing our efforts on vans, light-duty trucks, and SUVs that are available on term contract, and our partner in this creative effort was Car Farm.
Yeah, so quick little information about Car Farm is that we allow consumers to purchase vehicles without the need of emails and phone calls, because nobody likes getting phone calls from salespeople at dealerships, right? So what we've done is we leverage some of our platform into, so basically the RFP process is similar to the consumer and the government. In a sense, we produce RFPs for individual consumers, and we send that out to each dealerships at the local region. So we leverage that part of our software into the city platform here. And the things that we found out about the city is that the San Francisco loves Fords. And and the purchase process between the consumer and the government sector is not quite smooth as the private sector is. So what we built out is an application where the individual users at the government departments would enter in the vehicles that they need to purchase, but after each interaction that they enter in, our relational database will make intelligent decisions on what configurations need to be filtered out, so that at the end of the platform, like so, you have a full digital RFP process.
So this platform provides the city with a number of benefits. Firstly, it provides city departments with a user-friendly interface that simplifies their decision-making process. Secondly, it helps lower the risk of communication breakdowns occurring between departments. It also helps speed up the procurement process. And finally, it helps the city to standardize its vehicle specifications and thereby lower the odds of city departments making purchase requests that require whole new RFPs to be issued into the marketplace.
Yeah, so now the platform is in the beta stage, and we're in the process of possibly expanding out into other equipments or supplies. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
How many of you all have done your NERT training? Okay, that's a decent-ish number. We need more of you to do NERT training. This next startup is called Lens, and they worked with the NERT program coordinator of the San Francisco Fire Department to create a NERT training platform. I'm going to introduce to the stage Tara LeMay, the CEO of Lens, and Lieutenant Erica Articeros, NERT program coordinator at the San Francisco Fire Department. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tara LeMay.
And I'm Erica Articeros.
And we didn't get to see your hands. How many of you guys have done NERT training? Okay, so
We see
Erica
you out there. I'm high-fiving
and
you back.
Hi, and a few of you can save all of us if we start having an earthquake right now. Let's just give you a little context about what we're talking about.
The NERT program started after the 1989 earthquake. In 1990, residents in the Marina District actually came up with the idea, and the fire department has supported and delivered this training program for 30 years. This year, we were recognized by the governor's office for the advances we've made with the program as it exists, as well as I returned yesterday from receiving the Whole Community Award from FEMA in Washington, D.C.
To give you a little context, NERT is considered one of the best programs in the entire country at what we do in volunteer training for a catastrophe. So let's talk about our context here in the Bay Area. We have a 72% probability of an earthquake happening in the next 30 years. So Erica, will you explain the 30-year number for everybody?
Absolutely. So 30 years is the length of a standard mortgage, and that's why that number is used. So 30 years we have recognized, and people say, well, it's always 30 years away. Not necessarily. What stays the same is the 30 years, and what increases is the percentage chance that we will have the great event.
So this is what a 6.2 earthquake looks like, as we saw in Italy just a month ago. On one side, under 6.2, you may be able to see the town that it looked like before, and on the other side is what it looked like after. This is the kind of thing we could expect. Although San Francisco has a lot more preparedness in our buildings, we still have the potential for a very big catastrophe.
The other thing we're aware of is that there are only 300 firefighters working today. And how many people in San Francisco? Any guesses? 800,000 residents and 1.5 million during the day. So our numbers don't add up even if we double the number of firefighters. And that's why we've engaged the community to join us in our efforts.
And we talk about having 3 days of readiness, but the reality is we know from large-scale events across the country, 7 days is more likely and potentially much longer than that. let's talk about the economics of the Bay Area. We're looking at $626 billion of GDP at risk in the Bay Area. And that's not including the tech amplifier of how much we affect the rest of the GDP in the country. So you can imagine if we start going down for 3 days, 7 days, and multiple weeks at a time, what we're looking at in terms of the impact. Less than 1% of San Francisco is trained to be responsive for NERT training.
And that's not trained, that's current in their training. So every year we train 1,000 to 2,000 people per year, and the certification is 2 years in length. So these are the numbers of people that are trained within 2 years or have recertified their training, so they are ready responders in our city.
So we started looking at the numbers, and we were like, okay, less than 1%, we have to work with that. The reality is the number is less than 0.5%. It's 0.37% is currently active. That is nowhere near enough people to be able to be empowered to be heroes in the city and around the Bay Area to start to do something if we have this problem.
So are you ready to strap on your capes?
Technology alone is not going to be the answer.
That's what we discovered, and I really want to thank the Mayor's Office and the STIR program for bringing me together with Tara LeMay and her team, because the work that they were able to do to help us do a deeper dive into the model that we were using based on the tradition of CERT programs, Community Emergency Response Team, and the FEMA model, even if we had a technology piece, will not move the needle on us really being able to increase the number of people that are ready responders.
And when we started asking people, even if they knew the training exists, that wasn't going to be the answer either. So marketing and going to other places weren't going to be the answer. We went really deep on this project. We took it on the way we take on every large-scale, high-velocity innovation space. We talked to everybody we possibly could, and we started getting real data on it. Our goal is in 2 years to get more than 1% trained and 90% aware of these things so that we can get ourselves back into the situation. Well, how the heck are we going to do that? This was the quandary we had. There we are. How are we going to do that? So we're going to create a whole new way of dealing with training. Our goal is to launch what we call Alpha Bravo, which is smart skills meets the sport experience. San Francisco loves nothing more than sports, as we know from every major event, every major team, and every major engagement. We love activities, and we love being together. And we're not unique in the country. Lots of people do this. So we're going to have to flip on our head the way we used to think about bringing people up to speed and being capable and being responsive. We started a whole new company around this called Start Pro, Smart Trading Response for Teams. And we're going to work with Erica after the START program to start building this out with our city and around the country. So some of the benefits we got from doing this together.
For me, the number one benefit was having that strategic plan going forward and being able to look at training in a new way. I presented this idea at FEMA, and they are fully supportive, and they said, yes, go forward with a new way, and we will follow you. So thank you.
So I hope you join us all, and we look forward to having fun with you as we change the way we think about doing this together.
Thank you.
The city's parks are one of the best parts of San Francisco, but as the population increases, we really need better ways to manage the booking of park space. Welcome Spottery. They came in and worked with the Recreation and Park Department to create an online lottery system for coaches of youth athletic teams to reserve time slots for practice fields in city parks. I'd like to welcome to the stage the founder of Spottery, the Director of Strategy, Juan Padilla, and Dana Ketchum, Director of Property Management, Permits and Reservations, Rec and Park.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dana Ketchum. I'm the Director of Permits and Property Management for the Rec and Park Department.
Hola, I'm Juan Padilla, Director of Strategy for Spottery.
Here in San Francisco, we have hundreds of parks that serve adults and kids in a variety of sports throughout the city. But we also have thousands and thousands of kids that want to practice and want to find the right day and the right time for their practices. We have really struggled to find, as youth sports have grown tremendously, a way to assign our fields that is fair and equitable, so giving a little extra edge to our underserved communities, transparent, people understand how it's working, interactive, people can help make their own choices, and manageable for our staff to get these assignments done.
So we had a similar challenge. I was part of a soccer team that we needed to practice. Believe me, we really needed to practice a lot. But it was so difficult to find places to do it, and that's when we decided to create a marketplace for facilities. Very soon we realized that the best infrastructure is owned by institutional organizations, cities, universities, schools. So we started aggregating those, thus connecting communities with facilities. We already have dozens of institutional organizations in Puerto Rico in the platform, so we decided to expand our platform for this challenge.
A little background on how we used to do it. Teams would apply online on a long online form indicating what field they wanted. They had to put 5 choices. They had to put multiple days. We would download those into a massive spreadsheet. This is just one small piece of it. Assign priorities randomly, and then our staff would just start using filters and trying to assign the fields out to everyone. Inevitably, as we get to the bottom, people are not getting their first choices. At times they question whether they're being treated fairly. We had a dream of a lottery, kind of like a sports lottery or draft, where people could come in and pick their own field. But could you imagine 1,000 teams coming in and picking these balls out and waiting in a room larger than this for their turn to pick? Obviously, that couldn't work.
So, together with the department, we developed a draft option that we add to our platform. The idea is that teams from San Francisco will connect to a special San Francisco page, and they will be able to access that option. From there, they will be able to search for fields, see which ones are available, and select which one they want. Everyone will be able to see the whole process through a public real-time dashboard that shows availability at any given time. And the department will be able to manage the whole process through an administrative tool.
Now we have a configurable tool that we can use for multiple seasons, multiple teams, that meets each of our standards. We are testing and fine-tuning. We expect to launch our first draft in October of 2016, and we're very excited about the impact it's going to have on thousands of teams and families in San Francisco. We really want to thank Juan and his team for helping our dream come true, and we're very excited about the future.
You're welcome. It was a great co-working experience. I have to congratulate you, the department, the Startup in Residence team, especially Mayor Ed Lee, for a great initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Spottery. In the Bay Area, innovation is regional, and this next startup, Decision Patterns, they're based in Oakland, and they worked with the San Leandro IT department to create a tool that standardizes and simplifies the IT department's budgeting and performance marketing. I'm going to let them tell you all about it. Come on out here. Chris Brown, the founder of Decision Patterns, and Tony Batalla, Information Technology Manager, City of Leandro.
Hi, thanks for having us. The best way to tell you about what we've been working on is kind of replay the highlights from our summer of how a small, local, ambitious startup that wants to get involved in the civic space met up with a forward-thinking IT department of a local city.
Well, hi, I'm Tony Batalla. I'm the head of IT for the city of San Leandro. And IT is an internal service fund. And what that means is that I charge out for my services, and I really do run IT like a business. But the problem is that I need to have some scientific or standardized way of allocating those costs across different departments. And there isn't one in existence. So when I built my first budget, what I did was I came up with it on my own, and I said, well, I'll use this way to do that way, and I built this really complicated spreadsheet to do it, and I was able to pull it off. But when I heard about this program, I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if I could like build that into a system somehow that would automate that and would take the methodology that I've created and build it into a web app. So do you think you could do that, Chris?
That sounds great. So, you know, what I think we can do for you, Tony, is we can take your complicated process of spreadsheets, we can apply some modern web technologies to them, and we can deliver them to you and your peers through standard web technologies. How does that sound?
Well, that sounds great. Sounds like you got the idea completely. Can I start using it?
Well, you know, we have a problem with this, Tony.
A problem, Chris?
Yeah. How often do you do your budget? You do it just once a year, right?
Actually, we only do it once every 2 years. We have a biennial budget.
That doesn't really sound like a product to me. We can't build anything that you use only once every 2 years. We need something more. Is there any other pain points that you might have?
Well, it would be really cool if I could track my spending in real time. Think you can do that?
Yeah, I think so. That would work.
Because if you did that, then I could get an alert if one of my accounts was going to run low, or if an account had surplus, I could allocate that to a different project. Could you do that?
Yeah, that's easy enough.
Wow. And what about like tracking my historical spending, almost like forecasting?
Yeah, we're good at that. We've been doing that for years.
Well, that sounds great. Now I can start using it, right?
Well.
Oh, Chris, what now?
Well, do you remember that other thing you talked about, the other thing that you did, the benchmarking study?
Oh, yeah, the benchmarking study.
The benchmarking study.
What about it?
Well, why don't you describe it for people?
Okay, well, I was trying to compare the costs of San Leandro IT to nearby cities to find out how we performed. You know, how are we on our staffing, or do we spend too much on IT? Turns out, with the mayor here, we're pretty good. We're right in the middle, so we're not overspending any. We're doing great. But it was a really good study, and I found out a lot of great information about the nearby cities. Why? Do you think you could put that in the app?
Yeah, I think so. I was really impressed by that, too. Let's work that up and then put that in the app, too.
All right, that sounds great.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I want to start using it.
Well?
You mean I can build my budgets, I can allocate my costs, I can track my spending in real time, and I can forecast and analyze and even benchmark myself?
That
sounds like the greatest IT application ever built.
It is.
I gotta start using it now.
Yes, it is. It's kind of like mint for your IT department.
Well, let's start. Sign me up.
Well, we're almost there. We've got some of this put together.
Chris, you mean it's not ready yet?
Not quite.
They say government's slow and hard to work with.
We've got a platform to plug this technology in. You can go and profile your cities. You can go and build your budgets and do your cost allocations, but the rest of the stuff will have to come a little bit later. We're trying to connect to your ERP system as we speak.
Man, that thing's really ugly, isn't it?
It is.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you, Chris. This has been a great process, and I can't wait to see what we come up with next.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you to the folks at STIR, and thank you to the City of San Leandro.
Chris and Tony are going to be in the next ACT theater presentation. We're going to roll right along, right into the next startup called Lotta Data. They worked with the Recreation and Human Services Department in San Leandro, and I'm going to introduce Apu Kumar, CEO and founder of Lotta Data, and Jeanette Dong, the director of the San Leandro Recreation and Human Services Department. Please come out.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Apu Kumar, CEO and founder of Lotta Data, an alternative data startup that provides people intelligence to cities and local government.
I'm Jeanette Dong. I'm the Director of Recreation and Human Services for the City of San Leandro. And here's my story. I started about a year ago, and we employed a new CRM enrollment system. I was so happy because up until that time, I had zero data. And for all the department heads and agency leaders, public policy leaders, you need data to make good decisions. You know what to build and what not to build, and what to cut out, what to put in. So I was operating blind, and I serve our department thousands and thousands of people. At our peak, we serve 7,000 people a day. So I thought, great, new system, I get data. I was told bluntly by our account manager with my staff there, I said, well, how can I manipulate this data? What kind of reports? How many cuts can I do? He told me I need to export it to Excel and manipulate it myself. I thought, what? You know, this is crazy. It's 2016. We can do better. So our chief innovation officer, the timing of STIR was terrific, said, you need to write a proposal for the STIR program, and let's create a dashboard. So we created a lot of data, created a dashboard and an app so that they can attach to my already new enrollment system and pull in information from our app. This, as a result, has shifted our paradigm. And I'm going to let Apu tell you how he's doing that.
And so that's where we came in. 1 in 8 San Leandro residents engage with Jeanette's programs. Now, if you look at cities like San Francisco and New York, they are much larger. We estimate about 15 million programs and activities and classes are offered by cities nationwide, and about 40 million participants nationwide. These are very large numbers. But that said, there are no real easy ways to collect, analyze, and visualize the data that these programs are generating. And so we built an innovative technology platform that gives stakeholders like Jeanette exactly what they're looking for: deep insights and analytics about people. So that lets them do data-driven optimization of city programs and city facilities. In terms of what this looks like, if you look beneath the hood, we have many data collectors and data connectors. So we plug into the city's CRM systems. We have SDKs that are plugged into the city's mobile apps and third-party apps. We scan social chatter to look for relevant topics. And we also look at third-party data. So we'll pick up foot traffic and census and GIS data and things like those. Our machine learning and our location intelligence platform then does its magic, and the output is a very easy to understand geo dashboard. So the geo dashboard, which is a cloud-based dashboard, is the centerpiece of our platform. With this, Jeanette gets to see the enrollments, withdrawals, wait lists, and even revenue for every council district in San Leandro. So what you see here is council district number 3, and you'll see that the enrollments are high to the north and high to the south, but there is a void in the middle, and turns out that's an industrial zone. Jeanette can scan and search and filter by any of the 38 programs and facilities and parks in San Leandro. And Jeanette can also do this in a way that she gets to see the geolocations of the people who are engaging with her programs and engaging with the facilities. The filters also allow her to look at many different attributes like demographics. She can look at the ethnicity, she can look at income levels, she can look at household size, language spoken, gender. And this allows her to optimize her program offerings for underserved neighborhoods or underserved communities. The Geo Dashboard also gives you a very detailed view into top 10 lists or bottom 10 lists so that Jeanette and her staff can compare the performance to their KPIs, optimize their budget, allocate resources, but all of this with a very data-driven approach. So a lot of data processes over 1 billion mobile location signals each week, and we do this for our many customers on the private sector side. With the STIR program, and we are very thankful for STIR, we have now extended our platform, our technology, to address the needs of public sector and local government and cities. We are super excited about contracting with San Leandro. We're also talking to San Francisco and West Sacramento.
I'm going to have to close up, but I want to say that a lot of data met with our city manager, and this system that he built a dashboard for is the predominant enrollment system in my business. It's a huge presence in the market. But meeting with the city manager and the assistant city manager, the first thing he said was, after he saw the presentation, is, "I'll buy it." So I think that's proof in the pudding. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
The state of California is the largest national manufacturing employer, and the city of San Leandro is the city that makes things. I'm going to welcome to the stage the next startup, SyncFab. SyncFab created an easy-to-use regional procurement platform leveraging LIT San Leandro. And I'm going to introduce Jeremy Goodwin, the founding CEO of SyncFab, and Debbie Acosta, the Chief Innovation Officer for the City of Leandro.
Thank you. I'm Jeremy Goodwin. Who here buys goods that are manufactured? It looks like you're all sharply dressed, so that means all of you. I'm here to talk to you today about manufacturing local and clean in response to an economic development challenge shared with us by the City of San Leandro. This is Deborah Acosta, the CIO.
So as the CIO of San Leandro, I'm a little different than many of the CIOs. I'm an infrastructure CIO, because in San Leandro, we have a 20-mile, 10 gigabit per second fiber optic loop. And that's actually allowed us to look at our industrial space in a whole different way. With the advent of 3D printing and remote control processing for machines, we're looking at advancing our manufacturing space and bringing manufacturing back. And we actually have a challenge, because while we have many manufacturers and most of our employment is in our industrial area, in fact, 63% of our space is used for logistics and warehousing, which doesn't create a lot of jobs. So the challenge today was, how can SyncFab re-engage local businesses and startup entrepreneurs to really engage in our factories and improve the usage of our factories, which right now stand at almost 50% capacity. They could be doing a lot more. Jeremy?
Well, Debbie, I just wanted to say a second, why did we respond to the challenge? And because when we talk about impact, economic, social, and environmental, manufacturing, the impact of manufacturing is widespread, consuming 30% of energy, with the highest jobs multiplier across industry, standing at 15 times in the advanced sector, and generating the highest research and development spend outside of government. And we believe that governments and people care more how things are made when they're manufactured locally right here in their own backyard versus out of sight, out of mind. Manufacturing locally is simply the best thing for the planet. So, in order to address the city challenge, we first needed to look at existing industry challenges posed by an industry that's dominated by offshoring, which is characterized by expensive higher minimums, which is typical of offshore factories, and which is compounded further by communication problems across different time zones and language barriers, which results in quality control issues and ultimately results in slower turnaround time. Lessons that we took away from our Stir City partnership, which was reinforced by 6 factory tours, was that approximately 50% of the factories sit idle, and that capacity, that underutilized capacity, can be identified, and those factories are eager to collaborate with the right partners. That San Leandro's strong supply chain in fabricated metals, power and plastics, instrument and controls can benefit greatly from more transparency, and that California's imports, which are 10 times their exports, illustrate clearly the demand is there. And that with the synergy on the shop floor with new automation, big data, and machine learning technologies stand to disrupt the exodus of industry and jobs to launch a virtuous cycle of high output, high skilled, high paying job creation. So the solution that we arrived at with the takeaway from the STIR feedback, as well as developing standards from the Department of Energy's Clean Energy Smart Manufacturing Innovation Initiative that we're happy to be a part of, is a new advanced manufacturing platform connecting regional procurers and brand buyers to automated manufacturing capacity mapped by who is local and who is clean. So our solution presented in 3 simple steps today is that we take the complex world of manufacturing and we simplify it to buyers who want to get made, connecting them to local factories that want to get paid to get to work making things. Those buyers can view the available manufacturing in the region and according to factory certifications. And ultimately, they're prompted to submit their order according to those factory requirements, which is delivered neatly to the factory shop floor in a mobile-friendly format. Benefits to the industry of this new solution is that it takes the former expensive higher minimums and lowers them down to work with eager local factories. It improves the communication issues in the same time zone, and which ultimately results in better quality control because a lot of the local factories don't want to have return buyers, and then ultimately is faster time to market, cutting out the long distance shipping and the customs holdups. Debbie, what are the benefits for the city?
Well, the city, with its commitment to industrial, has a number of benefits here. First of all, we can absolutely have confidence that our industrial area will once again be the manufacturing powerhouse, not like it was in the past, but different with improved technology, different with improved skills for our workforce. We'll be able to attract more hardware startups that will, again, be able to provide a higher value for the real estate owners who own the manufacturing sites, and some of them are now warehouse sites. And it supports the supply chain clustering. We have a super cluster in San Leandro and in the East Bay of manufacturing support. Our manufacturers and our startups don't need to go to China for prototyping and for small batch manufacturing. We can do it here in the United States. We can create quality middle-class jobs for our citizens and really create an economic stability and sustainability for our city.
This presentation wouldn't be possible today without the STIR program, and a special thank you goes to the City of San Leandro Mayor Pauline Cutter, Debbie Acosta, the City of San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee's Office of Civic Innovation and the team, and also the San Leandro Chamber of Commerce, which provided a lot of the information.
Part of our powerful ecosystem.
For today. Responsible local supply chain is not possible without responsible procurement. So please follow us, #MakeLocal. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's #MakeLocal. We are not letting you leave this room until we fix government procurement. You have to stay here. The next startup I'm bringing to the stage is called Appledore. Appledore cares deeply about the homeless problem in West Sacramento and worked with the West Sacramento to create a platform that speaks to the homeless problem in that city. I'm going to introduce Tiffany Peng, the co-founder of Appledore, and Mark Sawyer, Homeless Outreach and Services Coordinator from the West Sacramento Police Department.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Tiffany Peng, co-founder of Appledore, and together with my co-founder, John Cadango, we're partnered with the West Sacramento Police Department and the City of West Sacramento, and Mark Sawyer, who is the homeless coordinator at the West Sacramento Police Department. And together, we're combating the issues around homelessness.
As the homeless coordinator in West Sacramento, one of my main objectives or tasks is to work with the occupants and provide services for the members of the community in the homeless encampments around the city. This is difficult social work. It differs from more traditional social work approaches, and because of that, an application that can better address these two issues is important. Where are the camps located, who lives in them, and what services do they need to end their episode of homelessness? This is difficult. The camps move around. They're hard to locate. They don't have traditional addresses. And so anything that can map this and make it easier for us allows us to reach more people and provide more effective services. Right now, the current method is very time-consuming. We have to go out to the camps with police escorts, meet with them, input the data on clipboards, go back to the office, and then input all that data and send referrals to the county. This is very time-consuming, and if we could streamline the process, we would be able to link people with the services they need quicker and provide more effective services.
So on our side, what we really wanted to understand was the outreach process. And so our team went out with police officers and social workers to do an outreach. And we had two main takeaways from this process. Firstly, it was really difficult to actually locate these camps. A typical description of a camp was behind an IKEA near the railroad tracks. And from this wide shot of behind an IKEA next to the railroad tracks, it's still very difficult to locate where these camps are. And if you're curious, we were able to find a few just over here. And secondly, there are a lot of agencies involved with an outreach like this. And actually, a lot of the time spent was collecting information, disseminating information through paper, emails, phone calls, and meetings, which made for collecting aggregate information and presenting it as analysis really difficult and really time-consuming. So we set forth to try to fix this problem, and we developed Outreach Grid. Outreach Grid is a mobile platform that enables police officers, service agencies to work together and collaborate their homelessness information. And it comprises of 3 main features: an intake tool, which enables police officers and social workers to collect client information right in the field, triage them, collect their information, and the platform itself will handle data sharing permissions between multiple agencies. Secondly, there is the mapping tool, which provides a bird's eye view of homelessness in a city with colored statuses of different camps, where they are, and also line paths so that future service workers and police officers can actually navigate to these places safely. And with client and camp information inside of this platform, social workers and police officers can start and assign tasks right in the field, getting work started for these clients and camps almost immediately.
For me and for everyone with the city that has seen this app or had the privilege to see it, there's 3 main points that we really like about it. The first is the GIS map. It gives us an up-to-date status of the camp situation in West Sac, where they're at, what camps are scheduled for cleanup, and things of that nature. So that's very helpful for us to provide the services we need to. The second is it saves time. It makes it really quicker. We can get referrals for people regardless of what it is, whether it's Social Security, Medi-Cal, food stamp, whatever the occupants need, we can do that much quicker. And the third is it's easy to use. You can do it in the field with your phone, with one hand. It makes it very easy. And yeah.
So I'm really excited to announce that we're piloting our beta platform with West Sacramento Police Department today. We're collecting and aggregating information into the platform. And through STIR, we'd love to talk to any cities who are facing similar issues. We'd love to learn about how your processes work today. And lastly, I'd like to thank the City of West Sacramento Police Department, and the Yolo County Health and Human Services for all their help and generosity throughout this program. And of course, the San Francisco Mayor's Office of Civic Innovation for putting together such a wonderful program for startups to do really impactful work. Thank you very much.
Okay, everyone, we have one more amazing startup. In the meantime, please silence your cell phones. I know it's a little hard, we're all trying to work, but let's pretend this is a Hamilton play and you just paid $1,600 to be here. Silence your cell phones and please welcome Raxar. Brian Johnson, Fire Marshal from the West Sacramento Fire Department, and Peter Ackman, co-founder and president of Raxar.
Hey everybody, it's a real pleasure to be here. I want to just say thank you for taking the time. My name is Peter Ackman. I'm the president and co-founder of Raxar Technology. This is Brian Johnson, Fire Marshal of West Sacramento. Before we get started, I just wanted to say some quick thank yous to these organizations, every one of the organizations that's participated, also to all the startups that have been out here presenting just some really amazing stories here and really showing what can happen with public-private partnerships. So, firefighters have a monumental task, and first responders have a monumental task ahead of them. According to the National Foundation of Fire Protection, every 23 seconds there is a fire incident across the U.S. And unfortunately, that results in almost 70,000 first responder injuries in a year. And these are the people that are tasked with keeping our community safe, our citizens safe, and our property safe.
With firefighters generally not given long time frames to perform our job, as our existence is to mitigate issues of exigent nature, it's extremely critical that we're equipped with the tools and technology to better serve the community and the firefighters that serve it. One of the challenges West Sacramento, as well as many other municipalities, faces presents a problem of providing pre-fire plans or fire risk evaluations of the critical infrastructure within our jurisdiction. Now, the importance of these pre-fire plans is significant as it increases firefighter safety and provides critical information on the facilities such as gas shutoffs, stairwell access, hydrants, et cetera, to responding firefighters. Currently, the City of West Sacramento is tasked with maintaining over 1,000 pre-fire plans within our jurisdiction, however, utilizing a cumbersome and archaic system to do so, which creates more of a hindrance than it is an assistive tool to do our jobs. So it's this challenge that afforded us the opportunity to work with Raxar.
Thank you, Brian. So looking at this challenge and how we can get this information in the hands of firefighters and first responders in an easy way, well, the first step we had to do is find a way that we can put a platform in place for them to easily inventory and manage and maintain this information, but also have that in a mobile standpoint to be able to have that accessed in the field. In order to do that, we leveraged the Raxar's proprietary Great System platform to allow them to do all of this information. And what we ended up doing was going through a full entire process review, leveraging the mentorship and guidance of the STIR program, as well as the expertise and the participation of the West Sacramento Fire Department. We were able to go through and fully process map their process, find all the vulnerabilities and opportunities. We configured the system, work with them closely to configure this, deploy this, actually go out into the field and do these inventories, and automate the entire reporting process. What this does is it provides that critical information that these first responders need. Being able to have this in their hands in an easy way was something that we wanted to enable so that they could better keep our community protected, our citizens protected, and themselves.
Now, the results we found were fairly significant upon completion of the project. What once took multiple days to conduct now took only a few short hours. Considering that there's 1,000 facilities in West Sacramento, that equates to 13,500 staff hours saved, or 6.5 firefighter positions for 1 year. And depending on the jurisdiction, can be equate to almost $1 million in staff savings. And now having the ability to do these much faster, we have the ability to also increase our ISO audit score because of those decreased timeframes in between reviews. Lastly, as the old system basically disallowed us access to the information en route, we have 100% improved the process and have access to that information.
So just want to say thank you again, and if you'd like to know a little bit more information about the process technology and the experience, please reach out to Brian or myself. But again, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raxar. Thank you all for being here and for supporting these startups. We are going to bring back to the stage our fearless leader, Jeremy Goldberg.
Thank you for the microphone. Project. Thank you for your leadership and all the great work and your partnership with our office and all the great work that you're doing out here in the world. There are a few housekeeping items and notes. Folks typically want to know how they can get involved. And we're making this very easy for you today. If you're a city who is either viewing us through the live stream or you're here in the room and you'd like to learn more, to join the Startup in Residence program for 2017, you can reach out to us by going to startupinresidence.org and look for the Participate option on our website. Same thing goes if you are a startup. We want your participation in future cohorts and programs. Same thing, go to startupinresidence.org, look for Participate. With anyone else that we should be including with that?
If you're an investor who wants to give some money to these startups, please find them in the lobby and write those checks.
And one more thank you to all of you here today and all of you that are in the Twitter universe for helping us to trend. We're at number 2.
Keep the conversation going with hashtag STIR2016.
And I'm working my hardest to get Lin-Manuel Miranda to retweet about the team from Spottery. So anyway, without further ado, would love to have the startups and the city departments and partners please join us up on stage.
Yes.
If we just get a round of applause. And All right. And of course, thank you to our sponsor, SAP, Startup Focus, for today's event. The ACT Strand Theater, incredible partners, host your events here. Please come back for a show. Lawrence, I know you're up there, way up in the sky. Thank you for all your great work. Judy Brown, team from Civic Makers. There's so many people to thank. Judy, get over here. Thank you. Thank you all. Again, startupinresidence.org. Check it out. Stay tuned. Much more to come in the fall as we launch Startup in Residence 2017. So thank you.